Iphis, a man of humble origin, had seen the lady Anaxarete, a high-born girl of ancient Teusa's line, had seen her and was heart and soul in love, and long he fought that folly, but at last, when reason failed, respectful at her door, he told his hapless passion to her nurse, and begged her, by her hopes for her dear charge, not to be hard on him. And many a time he coaxed her many maids, to do a kindly favor, and would often give them notes to take with loving messages. Sometimes he hung a garland at her gate, bedewed with tears, and on her doorstep laid his body down, soft-side on the hard stone, and cursed the misery of bolts and bars. But she, more savage than the surging seas when the kids set, more adamant than iron forged in the fires of Noricum, or rocks, deep-rooted living rocks, despised the man and laughed at him with haughty words and acts of cruelty, and foiled the lover's hope. The torture of his long-drawn agony was more than he could bear. Before her door these last few final words poor Iphis cried: "You triumph, Anaxarete. At last I'll not molest you. You need bear no more. Prepare the glad parade, sing out the song of victory, and wreathe your brow with bay. You triumph, I die gladly. Come, rejoice, you stony heart. Here's surely in my love something that you must welcome, must admire, that makes you willing to admit my worth. Never forget I did not leave my love before my life, two lights together lost. Nor will some rumored tale report my death. I shall myself be present, never doubt, in person for your eyes to see and feast, your cruel eyes upon my lifeless corpse. But O ye gods of heaven, if you behold the actions of mankind, remember me, my failing tongue's last prayer, and make my tale be told long ages hence, so may the time you shortened of my life prolong my fame." Then to the posts he'd often garlanded he turned his brimming eyes and wasted arms, and tied a noose above the door, and cried, "Here is a circlet, cruel godless girl, to give you joy," and thrust his head within the noose, and facing towards her to the last, hung there, a tragic burden, choked to death. His twitching feet strike on the door, which seems to groan for many griefs, and flying wide betrays the deed. The servants scream and lift, too late, the body down, and carry it, his father being dead, to his mother's house. She takes him in her arms and clasps the corpse, her son's cold corpse, and speaks the words of grief a parent speaks, and mourns as mothers mourn. Then through the middle of the town she leads the weeping funeral, and on the bier the death-pale body for the pyre to burn. It chanced the house of Anaxarete looked on the street through which the sad cortege was winding, and the sound of wailing reached the heartless girl, whom some avenging god now drove. And moved despite herself, she thought, "We'll see this tearful funeral," and climbed the attic stair and through the windows wide. Scarce had she fixed her gaze on Iphis there, laid out upon the bier, when the warm blood fled from her limbs, her face was white, her eyes were stark and stiff. She tried to walk away, her feet stuck fast. She tried to avert her face, that too she could not. Gradually the stone, that all along had lurked in her hard heart, spread and possessed her body limb by limb. And still at Salamis a statue stands of that proud lady, proof the tale is true, and there's a shrine of gazing Venus, too. Ponder this tale, my darling nymph, put by your scorn and scruples, link yourself in love, so may the frosts of spring not scorch your buds, nor rough winds shake the blossoms from your boughs. Thus the god pleaded in the old dame's guise, but all in vain. Then he resumed his own young shape, and shed the trappings of old age, and stood revealed to her as when the sun triumphs in glory through the clouds and rain, and bright with beams, untrammelled, shines again. No need of force, his beauty wins the day, as she with answering love is borne away.